And so I want you to take a second there, and you can drag these labels to wherever they belong on this model. What is each one pointing to? So my neutrons would be right there. They're little white ones that are in the nucleus. My protons are right there with the positive charges, P for proton, P for positive. The electron is out here in the orbitals, and this is pointing to the nucleus, which is where the protons and the neutrons are. We can get all the information we need to draw a Bohr model right there off the periodic table. If it's in period 2, it tells us we're going to be using 2 energy levels. If it's in group 13, you go off the last digit, and that tells us there's going to be 3 electrons in the outer shell. And then we're going to be looking at that information that's given to us right there. So this is how it works. You look at the atomic number and you see 5. What does that tell you? It tells you there are 5 protons in that nucleus. So I want you to drag 5 protons right up there into that nucleus. Okay? Now, we can also find the number of neutrons. We take this atomic mass number, we're going to round it to the nearest whole number. So when you see that 8, that tells you to round that 10 up to an 11. So the total mass in that nucleus is 11, and we know that 5 of them are protons. That tells us the others must be neutrons. So there are 6 of these neutrons in there. So we've got 5 protons, 6 neutrons, and that makes a total mass of 11. We don't worry about the mass of the electrons because it's so small. They just considered on these models that electrons don't have a mass. Now, there are some rules to where we put the electrons. When we look at the atomic number, we know there's going to be 5 electrons, and this is the rule. The first 2 have to go on the first energy level, which would be right there. So your first 2 are going to be right there on the energy level. Sometimes they will pair them up like that, and they'll put them like next to each other in little pairs of 2. And that means to have 5, there's going to be 3 on the outer energy level. And usually they'll start putting them kind of like that as you go around. They'll kind of space them out. And this is what boron looks like. It has 5 protons, 6 neutrons. It has a total of 5 electrons, and 3 are in the outer energy level. That's what it tells us by group 13. Let's do lithium. If you notice, lithium is in period 2. So it has 2 rings around it. It has 2 energy levels. You look at that atomic number, tells you the number of protons in the nucleus. Remember, this is your total mass. And you have to remember to round it. So when you look at the 9, that 9's going to round it up to 7. You go 7 minus 3 gives you 4. So it's got 3 protons, 3 electrons, and 4 neutrons. Would anybody like to share their screen with us? You getting brave?
I'm going to try to share my screen.
Okay. There you go. I like that. You want to explain to them what you did?
Sure. So whenever you look at the atomic number, it tells you that you have your protons and your electrons. So whenever you start off with your protons, you're going to put 3 into the nucleus. And then I like to go and do my electrons because I still have that number as a constant. So I do my 2 electrons in the very inner energy level. So you have your 2, and then you put your outer electron on the outside. You only have 1 valence electron because you're in the first family or group. And then whenever you go to look at your your neutrons, you round your 6.94 up to 7, and you subtract your 3 of your protons, and that gives you 4 neutrons, and that's what you just put in the nucleus.
Excellent. That's excellent. So let's try these out. Now, these have some different ways that the atom can look. So you're looking for clues. So when we look at the first one, see how we see 2 rings? That tells us it's in period 2. So it's got to be one of these going across there. And when you look at the total number of electrons, we see 1, 2, and then 3, 4, 5, 6. This tells us it has atomic number 6. It also tells us there are 4 in the outer energy level. So it's got to be part of group 14, and it has atomic number 6. So this is carbon. So you can come down here and you can grab carbon and you can put it right there, just like that. Now let's look at this next one. What do we see? We see 2 energy levels. So it's part of period 2. We see a total of 1, 2, 3 electrons. It's got to be lithium. So this is lithium because it has 1, 2, 3. So it's right there. It has 1 in the outer shell, which means it's in group 1. Now, if we look at this one, what do we notice? You see those 8 protons? There's only one thing on the whole periodic table that has 8 protons, and that's the one that has atomic number 8. So this has to be oxygen. And if we look at oxygen, it has a total mass of 16. There it is. And it has a total number of 8 electrons. So there's 2 here, and then we see 2, 4, 5, 6 in the outer shell for 8. So that's oxygen.